Yeah, so the Jets just traded for Davante Adams for a 2025 third round pick that can become a second rounder.
Yes. And this is off the heels of an ugly, ugly game. Another game the Jets had a chance to win that they did not. So let's get into the Davante trade. I don't think it really moves the needle. So listen, folks have been holding on to this idea that the Jets are something they're not for multiple years now. And every time they get blasted, I'll just stick to this season. They get blasted in week 1. Well, that's fine. They're going to win 4 straight because look at the schedule and look at who they're playing. They lose a unspeakably bad game against the Broncos. And okay, that's fine. It's just the kicker's fault. They lose an ugly game last week in London where they're down 17-0. Well, we'll fire the coach and it'll be fine. They lose a totally winnable game last night to fall to 2-4. They are ahead in the AFC of the Patriots, who are starting a rookie quarterback, the Browns, who are starting the worst quarterback in the league, the Titans, who are starting the second worst quarterback in the league, and sadly, my beloved Jacksonville Jaguars. That's the 4 teams they're ahead of. They just lost the tiebreaker with Buffalo. They're 2-4, and they are right now looking up in the standings at the Miami Dolphins, who were written off for dead a few weeks ago. And it's like, oh, okay, don't worry about it. Davante Adams will fix everything, because actually the problem was Mike Williams. Because Aaron Rodgers just absolutely napalmed Mike Williams last night in the postgame press conference. At this point, and I'll talk Davante in a second, but if you didn't see the postgame press conference, Aaron Rodgers is like, no, I'm expecting Mike to, he doesn't say Mike, but I'm expecting him to be on the red line, which is in between the numbers and the sideline, about midway between. And as I'm getting ready to throw it, I see he's not only a red line, he's running an in-breaker. He's not where he's supposed to be. So I have to change the throw and it gets picked off. Aaron Rodgers, 3 weeks ago against the Denver Broncos, ball, down 1, chance to go win the game, doesn't come through. Aaron Rodgers, a week ago, chance to beat the Minnesota Vikings, ball, down 6, throws an interception, doesn't come through. Aaron Rodgers, last night, in a game he had played well in most of the night, ball, down 3, chance to go win the game, throws an interception, doesn't come through, and then in the postgame press conference, torches his receiver. No, it's not me, it's him. No, I didn't make the mistake, he made the mistake. When it comes to late game drives and accountability post-game, I've got one for you, Damonte. Aaron Rodgers as a Jet has been the bizarro Patrick Mahomes. Never comes through, blames everybody else. Mahomes, we've seen it the last year, this year, any situation, comes through, and when they don't, that's my fault. When MVS drops a perfect game-winning pass, I shouldn't have thrown it quite so far. I should have taken a little more off it. That's my fault. It's my fault. And by the way, he doesn't have to say it's my fault that often because he comes through. Rodgers, ball in his hand, chance to win. Kicker misses the kick. Can't blame Aaron. Ball in his hand, chance to win. Throws an interception. Fire the head coach. Ball in his hand, chance to win. Mike Williams ran the wrong route. And by the way, Mike Williams, I would imagine, is not long for the New York Jets. So why do I think? Because we know he loves Lazard. Garrett Wilson's there. They now have Davante. He made it very clear to the broadcast. Because the broadcast meets with the coach and the quarterback before games. And there was a little Easter egg in there where Troy Aikman was like, I thought we'd see more Xavier Gibson today. Rodgers loves him, wants to get him more involved. So Rodgers made it clear to the broadcast that this kid Xavier Gibson, who's 5'9", The 23-year-old receiver has got 3 catches on the year. He's more of a special teams guy. That he would like him to get more involved. They spent a high draft pick on Malachi Corley, who can't seem to make the game day roster. So Mike Williams is out. I don't know if they're going to trade him or just, not have him be a part of the top receiver rotation. My guess is he gets traded in the next 10 days for a conditional 6th, 7th round pick. That's what I think is going to happen. But you cannot win in the NFL with that culture, and you just want an X's and O's analysis of it. The New York Jets last night had 1 sustained touchdown drive. Davante Adams doesn't fix all of that. Their other touchdown was a Hail Mary. And God bless him, he is the best Hail Mary thrower still ever. They were going to have Demonte ask, I saw in the rundown, who would you rather have throw a Hail Mary? Aaron or Mahomes? No, Aaron's the best Hail Mary thrower there is. Now, the Bills helped him out by this old man can't run and his tackles can't block. We'll rush too. But whatever, he's great at it. But here's the X's and O's problem with the Jets. If they get the ball out, Demonte, in less than 2 seconds, Aaron looks like old Aaron. Snap, boom, bang. And the ball's moving. But if you get the ball out that quick, they're almost never explosive plays. So it's 4 yards, it's 6 yards, it's 8 yards. And all it takes is 1 off-target throw or 1 drop, and now you're behind the sticks. You run the ball, get stuffed. The moment they get to 3rd and long, they are cooked. Because Rodgers can't move and the tackles can't hold up. And every time they were in we have to have a real passing situation with time for the routes to develop, it ended in disaster, except for the Hail Mary. So I think the Jets leveraging more assets for this season for Davante Adams is insane behavior.
Already left Aaron Rodgers in the past. So it's what are we doing here? Is it going to work out this time?
Well, I think that was more about money. Davante wanted money and Aaron wanted money. And Davante was like, I'll go with my buddy Derek Carr. I also got to tell you this. I don't know how any of this lands on Garrett Wilson's desk, who has not been having the year I know he expected to have, but at least it was getting a lot of targets. Targets 11, 6, 9, 8, 23 in the Minnesota game, and 10 last night. Garrett Wilson, who's yet to have a 30-yard play this year. I said it last night. Mike Greenberg, and God love him, it's not his fault. He's just rooting for his team. I get it. But Mike Greenberg tweeted last night, hard to remember the last Jets game that felt like this. Like literally everything is at stake. Tonight will either be the beginning of something or the end of everything. Let's go. And it's imagine someone going into game 30 of the NBA season who's a big-time fan of the Washington Wizards being like, tonight will either be the beginning of something or the end of everything. No, it's not. It's a continuation of one of the only truisms of my life as a sports fan. The Jets will always be the Jets. Every decade or so, you'll pop up and be like, oh, that team was better than expected. And you'll lose in excruciating fashion, and your owner will continue to be a terrible owner, and your front office will continue to get more rope than it deserves, and you'll fire coaches, and you'll blame it on the quarterback, and you'll do all these other things. You're the Jets. And this idea that it is some Shakespearean drama playing out, it's either the end of the beginning or the beginning of the end. Nah, just fucking week 6 and you're the Jets, so you're probably going to lose. It's just what it is. I mean, and okay, no, but now it'll get fixed. Now, you know why it's going to get fixed? Because we're bringing in a 32-year-old, soon to be 32-year-old receiver whose hammy's been bothering him. That's going to fix it. Like, let's just go through the rest of the Jets' schedule and see, because they're at 2-4. What do we think you need to make the playoffs? 10 wins? 10 wins, 11 definitively get you in. Let's call it 10. So, can we find 8 more wins for the New York Jets? And keep in mind, guys, they lost to the Broncos. They were trailing the Titans. Every team, and you got to remind yourself when you play these games, when every other team looks at their schedule, their fans, and they're like, all right, where are our wins? They look at the Jets and they're like, well, there's one. Like you are the soft spot crazy. In other teams' schedules. What? It's true. Nobody would get mad at me this, man. Because they're just delusional. It's just you fired your coach, right? Your quarterback is torching his teammates. Your defense got run on yesterday. Your old tackles can't block, and I'm supposed to take them seriously. I'm supposed to treat. Why on earth should I give the New York Jets more respect than I give the New Orleans Saints? The Saints at least have a real history. The Saints, why? Why should I take the New York Jets more? Honest question. Why should I take the New York Jets more seriously than I take the New York Giants? Why?
Because they have Aaron Rodgers.
Okay, how good is that in 2024? Honestly, what does that mean in 2024? What does it mean? They have an interim head coach. They're flailing. They've lost 3 straight games. The Jets are the Jets, man. And they're going to continue to be the Jets. And in 3 weeks, when they lose to the Steelers, beat the Patriots, lose to the Texans, and they're 3-6, I'm going to have to listen to Aaron Rodgers tell me, I've been here before. We just got to run the table. It's just, okay, good luck, guys. And to me, the real news about Davante Adams being traded is a team that actually could do something this year isn't getting him. So they were never trading him to the Chiefs, fine. But Buffalo, who played last night, and it's a good win for Buffalo, but you saw some of the limitations they have in the vertical passing game. Buffalo's not getting him. Pittsburgh, who I don't think can win a championship, but certainly can be a viable playoff contender, not getting him. Baltimore, who can win a championship, not getting him. That, to me, that's the news. In Dallas, if they wanted to, shake something up, not getting him. Speaking of Dallas, there's no other place for me to put this. Now that Buffalo doesn't need the draft capital to trade for Davante Adams, I have a insane galaxy brain fake trade that is something that I think will be mocked by the alleged smart people in the space, but I don't care. I know it would be a good trade for Buffalo. I think Buffalo, who has an extra second-round pick from trading Stephon Diggs, should call Dallas and offer that second-round pick for Brandon Aubrey, their kicker. A second-round pick for a kicker sounds insane. But Buffalo is going to be in these low-scoring, close games. Not necessarily low-scoring, but close games. Their kicker is ruined. I can't believe they brought him back after the playoff game against the Chiefs. That you can't bring that guy back unless that guy is a legend, and he's just not going to be able to get over it. And you saw it last night, and Buffalo's windy and bad weather, whatever. Meanwhile, the Cowboys, who are spiraling a bit, are like a baseball team that's terrible but has an awesome closer. It's like, well, this is kind of, you know what I mean? This is the meme of the Lamborghini in the driveway in the trap house. It's like, well, this is like, and so Buffalo overpaying for the best kicker in the league and just being like, you know what? For the rest of Josh Allen's career, we're not going to have to worry about kicker, and we're not going to be, and we can get rid of the Bass kind of hangover thing. And it would be hard to turn down.
Who knows how good that guy would be in Buffalo? You know, he's getting to play in Dallas.
I don't know,
right
man.
now.
That guy was good in the UFL.
Yeah, he's hitting like 60
that
yarders.
Guy's banging 70 yarders. I mean, I think he'd be pretty good in a lot of places. Hey, thanks for watching. Hit the subscribe button to get more from the show, and make sure to click the bell to get notified every time new content drops. Check out full episodes of What's Right wherever you get your podcasts, or just click the link in the description below.